Welcome back to MLG Saturday Night. Chris Puckett up in the booth with Shockwave. Great job on your first show, buddy. And, of course, Scott was here, Gandhi. Guys, we had a great time tonight. Let's wrap it up. First matchup, Scott, what did we see?
Well, we watched the domination of FB. They came in, I put them as first, and I'm very happy I did because they look extremely impressive.
Final boss moving on to our winners bracket finals, and of course they'll be facing off against Instinct, who we just saw take down Status Quo, Chris.
Yeah, well, the first two games were a little close, actually, with Status Quo definitely taking the second one by a lot, but that just awakened an Instinct team that's been lying dormant all tournament, I feel like, and they just dominated those last two games.
All right, so that is going to do it here for us up in the booth, but the show's not over. Let's send it down to the Old Spice report with Julie and D-Mac.
Welcome to the Old Spice Report, live from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Julie, this is D-Mac, and we are celebrating MLG's 50th event. Now, D, back in the pregame show, Chris Puckett and Gandhi were talking about their favorite MLG memory, so what's yours?
Well, mine had to go back to 2006. We were in Dallas, and I was a little younger at that point, so I was a little more immature than I am now. And we were outside, we had to evacuate the building. And I was outside throwing soda bottles in the air with Pepto-Bismol inside, and whatever it is, Mentos. I'm sorry, it was Mentos. And Sundance decided to come out and join me. It was the funnest time I ever had. First time I ever met the man. He was completely grounded. My favorite moment.
Wow, who knew you could have so much fun with Mentos in a soda bottle? Okay, talking about tonight, we saw some amazing matchups. They did not disappoint. We saw a very confident final boss take on Believe the Hype and sweep them 3-0. And in our second match, we saw Instinct take on Status Quo 3-1.
Yeah, and when you look at Final Boss, they came out as confident as they ever have, and they were as good as we thought they would be. Final Boss was extremely, extremely solid all the way around. And then on the other side, you look at Status Quo. Status Quo, they came in and they put in a good matchup against Instinct. But Instinct, really being able to turn on the switch at any point, that's what you see from this Instinct squad. They've been consistent for quite some time now.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at the bracket up until now. Now, I have to notice here, Triggers Down and Straight Rippin' both lost out in round 2. Was this expected at all?
You know, it wasn't expected for them to leave in round 2. That was quite a surprise, especially Triggers Down, because they improved a lot between tournaments. But when you look at Straight Rippin', they came out flat. You can't do that at these tournaments. And these young and up-and-coming teams, they've decided to really step up their game and give these pro teams a run for their money.
I mean, I remember when I first came on the MLG scene back in Meadowlands, New Jersey in 2009, first event of the year. And, you know, these two powerhouses, they were the teams to beat. What happened?
Well, two things. One, the level of competition really grew as time went on. And the second thing, you know, team changes have been through, and it's not quite the same team. And it takes a long time. These teams, they're fairly new. You have to understand that. So they have been together for a long time. Straight Rippin', they have quite a long ways to go. Maybe they'll get it together by the end of the season. And Triggers Down, I think they'll bounce back tomorrow. I think Triggers Down will bounce back tomorrow. I'm going to say that. All
right, and I also can't help but notice the absence of Carbon.
Yeah, that's another surprise. It's surprise after surprise after surprise here in Raleigh, and Carbon's another one. When you look at Carbon, not quite the squad. They don't have enough firepower.
Not quite the squad, but yet they're made up of all-stars.
You know, all-stars in their own right. You have two captains on the team, Walshy and SK. Naded can't be the only Slayer on his own. He just can't do it by himself. And Defy, he didn't really impress me this weekend either. They all have to step up their game. They have a chance to make it to the top 8 tomorrow if they play well, but it's a long road ahead.
All right, and looking forward to tomorrow, Victory X gets his wish. It's Final Boss going up against Instinct. Is it surprising to you at all that Final Boss made it this far?
No, this is what I said would happen on the bracket show. I called Final Boss versus Instinct. In fact, I saw Believe the Hype and Status Quo getting to where they did as well. But this is Final Boss's turn. When you look at what Final Boss has done in between events. They took the same team and they became a lot more fluid. They put in the practice. Ogre 2, he really wants this win. The second event MLG ever had, he took a first-place finish. He would love to come to the 50th event and show that he could still come with a first-place finish. That's longevity at its finest.
And I think he even said to me, he said 50, 51, and 52. That's what he's looking for. All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we return, we will be joined by Elamite from Instinct. Stick around.